Thank you, Karina, and hello, everyone. So I'm Daniel Opoku, and I'm originally from Ghana in the West Africa, and I'm connecting to you today from the traditional lands of Kaskaskia and Miami people in Toledo, that is in Ohio State. Talking about resilience, which is my favorite word at this conference. Let me share a little bit history about my place of birth. So I was born in modern day Ghana, but previously called Gold Coast. That was before the 50s, before independence. Before the name Ghana, there were different states and tribes, and trust me, you love to learn about their culture and then stories and background about these tribes. And I'm actually from one of the clans that is called the Akan, which involves the Asantis and then the Asante Kingdom. This kingdom is widely known today because of the king who recently gave a speech. The king is actually called Otumfuo Osei-Tutu. He recently gave a peace speech at the UN meeting, and the Asantis were those days referred to as the Pokwan warriors, and they were known for known for one of the wars that they fought with the British for over 70 years, and they called it the Anglo-Ashanti War. That was in the 1820s for over 70 years. And today, these kingdoms are really great friends and they are cool friends. I think it's good to mention and then comment. I'm also one of the Diversity and Inclusion Fellows, and I'm part of the Climate and Culture Action Team, which work to build a supportive culture of engagement and leadership while acknowledging the climate disparities intersect on multiple issues. And I think we need these communities-based solutions at CCO and in our daily lives. And I'm so happy today to, introduce GO79MAN to CCO. GO79MAN actually uses his voice to empower people in the best version of themselves. Through his profanity-free music, he inspires communities while highlighting different topics of everyday culture, from throwing gold confetti in the sky, jamming out of his band, and actually showcasing most live band, and also showcasing live dramas about domestic substance abuse. And his shows has been described as larger than life experience. And I hope we experience that today. And I am considered, it's actually always considered a must see. You must always witness and then act to actually have that. He even created a hip hop musical with his wife. GO79MAN was actually born in Chicago, Illinois, but he was raised in North Carolina. GO79MAN finds himself in a so-called dream situation now because he's making theme songs for professional wrestlers. And he's making history with a wrestling show called ASÉ WRESTLING, where one of his songs, well known as Power, has been featured. And in addition to Power, his music collection includes songs like Pretty, Unacknowledged, and then The Disturbance. So on this note, I would like to introduce GO79MAN to the podium.
Hello, hello. Hello, hello. How are you doing today? All right. So first and foremost, I want to thank David for the beautiful announcement. That was amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I also want to thank Karina for having me on this beautiful stage, this beautiful platform. Thank you. My name is GO79MAN. I stylize as GO79MAN. My pronouns are he. My pronouns are he. My pronouns are he. Yeah. Alrighty, so this first song I want to do. Actually, I made it specifically for this event here, and it's called The Side Eye. The Side Eye, and what this song is about is I want to highlight a few things that we may turn a side eye to, or in my opinion, the things that I feel that we turn a side eye to: climate, injustice, food. Climate justice, food, the things we do on an everyday basis, the way the world is set up. So this song's called The Side Eye, and I just wrote it a few minutes ago, honestly, and I hope you guys enjoy it. All right, so here we go. I woke up this morning I woke up this morning. 90 degrees in the wintertime. It sounds like global warming. Oh, no, we can't speak about global warming. It doesn't exist. Even though climate's been rising since 1966. And don't quote me for those words. It's just loosely, when you're making poetry, you got to put words that rhyme together. But going back to the climate. So, driving in a car with my nephew, he said, "Hey, Uncle, why you cut down the trees?" I said, "I don't know. Don't we need that to breathe?" And for a second, I'm in the car thinking like, how does he know about that? He's only 7 years old. So what I tell him, I said, don't worry about that. Let's continue to the road. Let's focus on the road. So I took a side eye and deterred him from the things that matter most. He's 7 years old, talking about the world of the trees. How does he know that? He knows that tearing down the trees affects the way we breathe. Man, so continuing. So I lost 136 pounds. And in my journey of losing 136 pounds, I lost a lot of weight. And when I'm losing 136 pounds, it was hard, and I can't digress. And sometimes I got picked on for the food that I digest. I'm trying to live a healthy life while I'm ridiculed and personalized the things that I do. And one more thing. So let's go back to the food. Let's go back to something on topic. Let's go back to the food. Let's go back to the food. So we get McDonald's. We can get buy one, get one free on McDonald's, but spend an arm and a leg on an avocado, pistachio, jackfruit. You get the point what I'm saying? We can spend $1 on a honey bun, but we got to go into our life savings retirement fund just to fund that avocado, just to afford that honey bun. It's what doesn't make sense clearly. And let's talk about global warming. So once again, the times have changed and the eyes have healed. We see the trees that went, and tell me how you feel. I feel one with self, one with mind, one reflection. I'm living out my dreams as solar reflection. And every day that I live a dream, I know that one day I'll be in the wind, whispering with the trees. Now, that's a side eye. So I want to open to some questions if you might have any questions about the side eye poem that I read, that I wrote. Any questions? Okay. So this next song is called The Disturbance, and I want to paint the picture. I want to paint the picture for the song called The Disturbance. So it's about how the story came about. It's about a song of domestic violence, and the song came from a collection of other people's stories, including mine as well. And I just want to put you in a scenario of when I was writing this song. So imagine you are a child affected by domestic violence, and what do you do? And I just want to paint the scene for that one. Here we go. Hold on. What's that commotion? A lot going on, and it sounds like they're not joking. Faint screaming, kicking, sound like glass broken. I swear so loud, feeling like my door is open. Unfortunately, this is not a dream. Put a pillow over my head so I can drown out the screams. All I can hear is someone calling, please. Thinking to myself, this can't be happening to me. The door slams, someone go and grab the keys. I walk into the room. Yo, what a sight to see. My mother crying. Mom, why you got that bruise? It's okay, son, you know how your father do. What's a young boy supposed to do? Because if I tell somebody, then everybody lose. If I tell someone, then everyone through. I start thinking about my little sister. She's only 2. I'm torn between telling the truth and the lies. See my mother cry, I swear it kills me every time. This turns anyone psycho. Domino effect. I guess that's life cycle. And in life, I realized sometimes when I wrote this song, I didn't understand how much of an impact it would be on myself and the people that hear the song. And I said, I was actually scared to release the song, actually. And then I said something to him. I said, I think the world needs to hear this. That song's called The Disturbance. I think the world needs to hear this. So this next song that I have is called Pretty. This song is called Pretty. And I'm inviting my keyboard artist to come play behind me. And so the song "Pretty" is it's quite a touching song. So I just want to know, when I made this song, I was completely in the dark. Literally, I was in the dark, no lights on in the studio, and I want to put myself in a position where I want to come out of darkness. So I wrote this song as if I was trapped in darkness. If that makes sense. And what "Pretty" is about is it's a song about resilience and overcoming through life. You know, sometimes we have a lot of things going on in life, whether it's famine, poverty, not having enough money to get through your day-to-day activities. I know sometimes we have people that know individuals who deal with suicide, and I just want to say that we can overcome. So the song's called "Pretty." Here we go. Yeah, here we go.
Question for you, good man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
There are questions for you actually.
Oh,
I don't know if
one second. We got some questions. My apologies. We go right to it. We got questions. What's the questions? Where we at?
yeah. So Debbie wants to know, how did GO79MAN get started performing on a theme of climate change, and what actually sparked you to, move to that direction?
How did I get so how the question is, how did I get out on this to talk about climate change?
Yeah.
So I make, for me, well, let me talk about my backstory about music, and then we'll get it. I can answer that question. So um I've always had an affinity for climate change and justice, and I feel like my music always resonated through that. Just to look at how the world has been treated, as being a Black man, I feel like just looking at the world has been treated, how I've been treated. I want to do something. I want to be a voice of the voiceless, for people who didn't have that opportunity. And then how this happened, how I got here. I hope I'm answering this question correctly. Minerva and Karina reached out to me via email, asking, could I perform here, and if they have any songs related to this. And I said, yes, I have some songs. And I started looking at my catalog. I said, I got a quite a first when I heard this, when I got the request, I'm like, do I have it? And then I really looked into my catalog with my wife, and I said, a lot of my songs talk about climate change, climate justice, injustice, diversity, and resilience. So I said, yeah, I could do it. And that's how that came about. I hope I answered that question correctly. David, is there any more questions?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. Well, thank you for the question. Okay, so the song is called, like I said, the song is called "Pretty," and we're gonna take it from the top. And like I said, just to give you the context one more time. The song is about overcoming obstacles, overcoming hurdles in life, being triumphant. So check me out. All right, here we go. Let me get your heart for a second. Close your eyes and listen to this message. It goes to the late night dream chasers, soul searching. Dream to live the dream, vice versa. Late night writing verses, trying to get my mind right. Late night writing verses just to get my mind right. Gold chain on my neck, pray to God I shine bright. Man. All right, put your lighters in the air. Put your lighters in the air. All right, so put your lighters in the air. Music wasn't my crutch, it was my father wasn't there. Let me say that one more time. I said music wasn't my crutch when my father wasn't there. Moonlight get dim, pray the time is ours. Moonlight get dim and pray the time is ours. Man, it's the final hour. Step up to the plate, swing like you Mark McGuire. I feel like some days I could take on 1,000 lions. Hold on, say it one more time. I said, step up to the plate, swing like you Mark McGuire. Feel like I could take on 1,000 lions. Man, I put my dream on consignment. Living out my day, I pray a hope light is promised. So once again, when I put this song together, I was in a dark place in life, trying to overcome everything in my life that I went through. My father left when I was my father left at a young age, so I didn't have a father figure to look up to. And wanting that in life, I yearned for that so much, and I didn't understand why that wasn't the case. So that's what the song once again is about, just trying to overcome and navigate through life. I'm a big believer on navigation in life. You know, sometimes we don't have all the answers. You know, sometimes we get on the road, we get on a GPS, and we take a wrong course. We take the wrong turn. I just want you to know it's okay to take the wrong turn. You know, we'll get rerouted eventually. It's okay to change our minds sometimes too. You know, I know me, I'm a big believer of this the way it has to be done, but never get a chance to think to myself like it can be done a certain different way. So let's get into this verse 2. All right, here we go. They say, work hard and work harder, because life is never really promised. You might not see tomorrow. It goes to my best friend who lost his daughter. She was only 3 years old. Yeah. It goes to my best friend who lost his daughter. It goes to my mom, disease she can't get back. I met my father, found out he needed a heart, so this heart, he trying to get that. You know, my father, I was speaking with my father a little bit, if I don't mind. So I eventually did reconnect with my father again, and you know, we had a lot of conversations, and he came back in my life, I guess, a time when he was sick. He was very sickly, needed a heart transplant. Currently, we're still waiting for the heart transplant. You know, and man, little touch. I'm sorry. All right, going back to the second verse. So, goes to my dad who need a heart. You can't get that. Live by your words, never. Live by your words, never. Yeah. Live by your words, never die by a quote. Living for today, because tomorrow you never know. Some poor looking just to forget that. I can't forget that. Listen, poor looking tomorrow you might just go into infinity and beyond. I swear every day I'm trying to beat the odds. Trying to beat the odds. Man, as I'm trying to beat the odds in life, I never knew until now like what I'm up against in life. You know, as being a black man, I realize every day that sometimes the world may not be against us, and it's a lot of other people. The world might not be against us sometimes, and sometimes we got to overcome the triumph, the turmoil, persecution. And it's, of course, it sounds easy said but done, right? Listen, I'm gonna go off the cuff a little bit. I want to say something about being pretty. So I'm living out my dreams. Everyday life is what I'm supposed to be. Waking up, going to sleep every day on repeat. GPS guided me by, but I can't retreat. Same old, same thing every day. Modern day slave. Working 40 hours overtime just to get by. Climate change, inflation, part of everyday life. So what do we do? What do we do? All right, that's pretty. That is pretty. That is pretty. David, do we have any questions?
Yeah, you have some questions.
Okay, excited. Excited.
Yeah. So the first one is from Susan.
Okay, Susan, how are you? How are you doing?
Yeah, and she actually wants to know from your first song, can you talk a little more about the word side eye? And how do you feel will help people get beyond the side eye?
Ah, okay. So the side eye, like I said, something I wrote a few minutes before I got here, and you know, what we can do for people not to become a side eye is sometimes address those situations. I know me, sometimes when conflict arises with me, I want to position myself like it didn't happen. Kind of situation. It could be an emergency or urgency, and I can say, oh, it's not happening, it's not here. But sometimes you got to address those issues. Speaking of being with my nephew, once again, like I said, we was in a car, we was driving in a car, and he's 7 years old, and he asked me, why I could cut down the trees. And at a point, I didn't have an answer for him, and I tried to like dismiss it. I was like, well, I guess they could do that, but don't we need that to breathe? And going back to myself, I say, sometimes we got to address these issues at hand, and not run away from them. So, yeah, address them at all costs. I know sometimes we put aside out things like it doesn't happen, but it's real things are happening as well. There are real life things that happen, and we got to address them. We got to address them. Hope I answered that question. David, what else? What else?
Yeah, so the next one is from Roots, and she really wants to know how you would describe his creative or your creative process. And is it a way for you to actually process challenging topics and come to a resolution? Or is it a way for you to explore and navigate complex emotions and then ideas?
Okay. All right. I'm gonna break down the first half and I'm gonna ask a question for this. I'm gonna break down the first half and then I'm gonna ask a question that she said on the second, or they said on the second half. So the first half, my creative process. So believe it or not, everything is a freestyle. When I say freestyle, that I don't write anything. I don't write any music. It all comes from my mental space. And for me, I don't create music unless I feel it in my heart. If that makes sense. Like I don't just, oh, I'm gonna go record today, but I try to have a purpose when I'm going to record music. So it's every time I record is authentic versus writing something down. I'm telling you the reason why I stopped writing music. This is just for me. I didn't want to be confined to the words that was on the page. Sometimes when we write stuff, well, for me at least, when I write stuff, I'm so bent on it has to be said this way versus just loosely saying it and I feel it in my heart. So that's why I stopped writing. I stopped writing my music. So that's my creative process. And then David, what was that second half of the question?
So the second half of the question was, she wanted to know that is it a way for you to process challenging topics and to come to a resolution, or it is a way for you to explore and navigate complex emotions and ideas?
Is there a way? Is there a way for me to do that? So anytime when I do talk about the challenging things, the topics, I like the disturbance, for example, the domestic violence. Um, some songs become bigger than they normally are. If that makes sense. Like with the disturbance, we actually shot a music video for the disturbance, and it's on YouTube. It has like 10,000 views right now. And so what I do sometimes when we have music that has a really heavy topic, we'll record the song, and me and my wife together, we'll shoot the video, we'll create the scene around it. And so yeah, so certain things, certain topics are a little bit harder to write about. Um, and it could just be I haven't experienced it yet. So a lot of times if I haven't talked about a topic, it's maybe because I haven't experienced it yet, or I haven't ran across a person. Because a lot of my music comes from myself or the people around me. The people around me, conversations and stories, and that's how a lot of these songs come about. So yeah. So certain songs I can grasp. It's easy, and some songs that is a little harder for me to write about because I haven't experienced it firsthand. Yeah.
Okay, so we can go to the next question. That is from Curry Preston.
Okay.
So he wants to say thank you for your words and poetry in song.
Thank you.
He hears the deep feeling blended in, but he wants to know, how do you recommend we process our feeling about climate crisis, the damage, the solution happening, and the many still needed?
how do we address? So say that one more time.
Yeah.
One more time. Can you say that question one more time so I can?
Yeah. So he wants to know, how do you recommend we process our feeling about climate crisis, the damage, the solutions happening, and the money still needed?
Yeah. So how do we process our feelings? I know for me, hearing that, how I process my feelings, it's saddening for me. For me, it's saddening. How can we process our feelings towards that? Well, we have to, in my opinion, we have to once again, the first thing is knowing that the problem is there, right? And I think you already knowing that the problem is there is the first step. I know sometimes we are in denial a lot of the times. Once again, going back to the side eye song that I made, we're in denial some of the time. So the fact that the question is brought up, that's the first step. You know, it's denial. So not denying it is it's the first step. And then how do we process it moving forward? You know, I think with all the work that needs to be done, you know, it's going to be a long road. It's going to be a long road. I think someone said earlier that she said you can't be naive. That, you know, there's still like, we've done a lot, but there's a lot of things to do. And I think that's almost a comforting thing, that know that we did a lot, we're doing a lot, and that we have so far to go. So it's like you can see, it's almost like the light at the end of the tunnel, right? You're yards away from it. It seems so far, yards away from it seems so far, but you can see that goal is there, like a low-hanging fruit, or that goalpost that you're trying to grab. It's right there. You got to keep fighting forward and keep pushing, and know that there'll be a day where things won't be like this anymore. Yeah.
Okay.
That was a great question too. Great question. I had to really think about that. That was a great question. Thank you.
One more question from Tiana.
Okay.
She's saying, you speaking on resilience and listening to your words, how did you overcome your father not being fully present? I mean, not being fully present.
Man, wow. So my father not being present in my life is a lot of backbone behind my music. And what I did, I needed an outlet. So music was my outlet. Music was my outlet. And dealing with it, I said as a kid, I didn't know how I could deal with it. I didn't know that needing a father figure was important, to be honest with you, until I'm in school, in elementary school, middle school, and I see that they have homes with parents, and only having one parent, it didn't feel good. It didn't feel good, and not having a father as a person that the questions that I had as a man, as being a man, that I had to ask him, that I had to have guidance with that. So what I did is I kind of all the questions that I had for myself, I put into music. And I did a lot of research and a lot of studies, and I tried to put it into music and try to understand and cope with it. And my father is I had a conversation with my father not too long ago, and we came to an agreement. He apologized for not being there, and you know, things can't go back in the past, but now I'm just trying to spend every day while I have him. Because I said my father's still currently sick right now, so just trying to embrace the moments that I have him, and I'm trying to move forward. Yeah, thank you. Great question. Great question. Great question. Any more questions?
Not really.
My apologies. Sorry about that. Okay. So I left off unacknowledged. That's what I left off unacknowledged. So this song unacknowledged is it's really deep. It's really deep to me. So I'm gonna give you the context behind the song unacknowledged. So unacknowledged is a song about being Black in America, and then being Black in America, trying to overcome obstacles, and in particular talking about Black and Black violence and cops killing Black people. That's what the song is about, and I just want to share my perspective on that. And there's some situations where I was actually in the midst of conflict while things arise in nature. So yeah, it's called an unacknowledged, and I want to get into it. All right, you ready? All right. Song called Unacknowledged. Here we go. So tell me, It's just us, it's just us. One more time, hold on. I said, is it just us or it's just us? Nowadays, cops killing all our loved ones. Seeing all this news, it ain't fun. Make a young black man want to grab. Hold on. I'm tired of hearing it was accidental. I don't really give a care, finger in the middle. Bloodshed, tears, always sentimental. I pray to God, cops don't kill my little sister. I feel like killing for amusement. Their bodies on display like a museum. I'll say that one more time. I said I feel like they're killing for amusement. Their bodies on display like a museum. I swear things get confusing. How we supposed to win when we set up for losing? I don't think you hear me. I said I think things are confusing. How we supposed to win when we set up for losing? Man, it's feeling like it's genocide. Do you know how I feel inside? Hold on, it's for the people in the back. I said I feel like it's genocide. Do you know how I feel inside? Another black man trying to beat the odds. Another black man unidentified. Let me tell you where I'm from. I'm from the city of Chicago. But some kids never prosper. We take them from our father. So I gotta repeat that one more time. Let me tell you where I'm from. I said I'm from the city of Chicago. Where some kids never prosper. We take them from our fathers. Black on black crime, what we're gonna do about it? I swear I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, right before it happened. Right before it happened. You know, all these protests going to lead to madness. All these protests going to lead to madness. And listen, I can't tell if I'm a vigilante or a vandalist. I can't tell if I'm a vigilante or a vandalist. I can't tell if black lives really matter. Why? Because every time I hear another black life shatter. Hold on, I think I gotta say it one more time. I said I can't tell black lives matter. Because every time I hear another black life shatter. But let me turn attention to myself. So we can't be mad at the cops when we kill ourselves. Solution, we could build black banks and redistribute the wealth. I'm only one man, I can't do it myself. Hold on, I said we gotta build black banks and redistribute the wealth. I'm only one man, I really can't do it myself. Yeah. It's better when we got a team, right? It's better when we got a community, right? It's better when we got a lot of people going to a cause, fighting for a certain cause, right? We gotta stick together, build community, build unity. Man, let's go back to it. So I said, we need to build back banks, redistribute the wealth. I'm only one man, I can't do it myself. Right? Can't do it myself, right? We need to stick together, create unity. I swear it's bigger than you and me. It's bigger than you and me. And I'll give up everything for equity and equality. One more time. One more time. I said I'll give up everything for equality. Pray the game don't swallow me. I pray cops don't shoot me. I pray somebody hear me. I pray somebody feel me. Guess it's just you and me. Tired of hearing rest in peace. Tired of hearing rest in peace. That's unacknowledged. That's unacknowledged. Thank you. Any questions behind that song? Any questions for that song or in general?
Yeah. So we have a question from Dylan. And
okay. Hello.
The question is, do you see other artists engaged with climate change, or do you wish you saw more artists engaged with climate change?
So the question was, do I see artists
Do you see
engaging
other
in climate
artists,
change? Is that what the question was?
yeah, engage in climate
Okay.
change?
Do I see? Not yes and no. Yes and no. Where I currently live at, I currently live in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm in Durham, North Carolina right now in the studio. And in my peer group, I don't see as much. There's a few people, but not many as I like it to be. And yeah, there's not many people. And the reason I don't know the reason they don't do it. I know in the music industry, especially in the hip hop space, what's being promoted now is a lot of negativity, and I think that's what sells, unfortunately, unfortunately. And those the artists that talk about pivotal things on climate change and justice and change, those people are not heard as much, which is very unfortunate. But I do think that there are some artists that do that. The reason being, and I think that if the people that don't do it, because I think that unfortunate as it wasn't sell, that doesn't sell records. You know, we live in a world where unfortunately money moves the meter sometimes, especially in the music industry. And I know a lot of times the end of the music industry promotes a lot of destruction of the world, a lot of destruction of minds and hearts and children. So that's why I try to make music to uplift people, uplift different communities, live different backgrounds, no matter who you are, what you represent. It doesn't matter how much you make music to heal the hearts and for change. So, well, I appreciate y'all for having me. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much.